Michigan. Lots of amazing places here in the house tonight. So, very excited to share with you our special event today. Continue to feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know where you are joining us from. But thank you so much for joining us for AI at Work. Save hours, cut costs, and get results. This is part of our ongoing series that we're doing with Plumwheel founder Hunter Lee Canning. Very excited for you all to hear from Hunter. Here on our screen, you can see our code of conduct. Lots of legalese, but just to sum up, means don't be a jerk, and like to share that the information that we share during these events is for informational purposes only. If you are a member of SHRM, here is your code on the screen. It is 25-ZYPNH. You can get your SHRM credits from that. I'll also pop this into the chat in just a moment, but feel free to take a screenshot of this as well. Just to let you know a little bit about Power to Fly, for anyone who doesn't know us, we help organizations attract top talent and retain engaged employees with solutions that simplify recruitment, enhance employee satisfaction, and drive long-term business success. We have lots of events. Next week is our supporting veterans, active service members, and military spouses summit and job fair. And we have lots of events on AI like the one here today. But to wrap up here, before we bring in our special guest, tell you a little bit more about Hunter Lee Canning. Hunter is allergic to corporate jargon and proud of it. With 2 decades in Hollywood and over 800 virtual events hosted, Hunter delivers no BS keynotes showing B2B teams how to break free of boring professional presentations. As a queer neurodiverse founder of Plumwheel, Hunter has perfected this approach by turning conversations into compelling video campaigns that boost engagement 300% for growing companies and enterprises. So, Hunter, I'm very glad for you here to join us today.
Hi, Rob. It's so good to be joined with you.
And Morgan in the chat is saying, "Thank goodness, down with jargon." So you
Down
have.
with jargon. Down with jargon. Come on, Morgan. Hello, everybody. My name is Hunter Lee Canning. I'm very happy to be here. Yes, I love firing it up. I'm also in New York City. We got a little bit of a, don't worry, we had a flurry yesterday. A little bit of a hurry of a flurry, which was quite nice. Quite nice, actually. I was like, oh, shoot, it begins. We are
Yes.
in.
And we both have little dogs who sometimes don't always enjoy that.
They're so tiny. They're so tiny. Did you get any new clothes for your dog? I got him like some new
No, only
sweaters.
one of my dogs will wear clothes, but we might
Oh,
have to do that. Yeah,
I mean, same. I don't want to wear clothes either, right? It's I only do it because I have to, Rob.
exactly.
So, Rob, I'm gonna kick it off by asking the crowd. This is gonna be a power half hour. We only have 25 minutes left. Can you believe it? So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so first off, this is not a sit back and relax. Well, it can be, but if you want to fire up the chat with questions, pushback, anything you want, please do it. I'm going to be dropping prompts into the chat. This is not going to be a hypothetical thing. Okay. We're going to get in it. I'm going to let you in under the hood of what I do every single day. And it's going to be adapted a bit for, a wider scope. I have my stack, with tech or whatever, and we'll get into that. But everything I'm about to show you, I want you to think about this. These are the anchors for the thing today. Okay. Is we're talking about workflows and methodologies, not tools and tasks. Okay. And then I also want you to think about the AI is not tools anymore. Think of them as teammates. We're going to be working with these different groups, these different departments, and that's what you're going to get away with it. You're going to walk away with some prompts, and you're going to walk away with a strategy, and you're going to walk away with some real things to get your hands on. I'm also going to tell you 3 reasons you should hang up the phone right now. Okay. So you want to find out what the 3 reasons are that you should hang up and leave the call? Rob?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I won't leave, but I will.
Rob,
I
you
will
have to stay because you're
have to.
hosting the call. Okay. So if you are hungry or tired, you need to take a nap or eat a sandwich, go do that. There's going to be a recording. It's going to be okay. All right. If it's beautiful outside, It's a nice time to get a walk. You've been in front of your screen too much. Go take a walk. Okay. And most importantly, if there's a family commitment that you could be a part of right now, please go do that. Go love, or your dog who's barking on the other side of the room, go be with your family. Okay. Those are the most three important things, more than work, more than tech, more than webinars. There's going to be a recording. It's going to be great. The rest of you, now that you're here, you're going to stay. Let's get into it.
Well, you're lucky, Hunter. I don't have any of those three things right now. So I'll dive into my first question
You're
for
well
you.
slept. You've had a sandwich and a nap
Exactly.
and 8 hours of sleep.
Yes, exactly. So my
Okay.
first question is for about saving time. So when it comes to saving time and also money and sweat equity and everything else, what would you say today are the top three tools that you can recommend to folks right now? Because we know it's changing all the time. But if,
Right.
push comes to shove right now, what are those three tools?
Yeah. And you're going to hate to hear it, is like the tools are becoming less and less important as to
Hmm.
which tools you are using, right? Because they're coming more and more similar in a lot of ways, which is good. And they're like fracturing into these different little departments, right? So for me, my tools that I'm using every day, and then there's going to be one that you've never heard of. You're going to be like, what is that thing? It's this one little thing that I love that's huge for me. So I use ChatGPT, Claude. Let's consider that one, right?
Hmm.
They're part of my research department. All right. They're my thought department, my thought partners, right? Think of these as teams and departments. This is where I can bounce ideas. The next one that I love that you've never heard of is called Whisper. And yeah. And all it is it's a speech to text tool. So I can hit a button on my computer and I can just dictate and it will type it out way better than Siri instantly. But this tool is going to be irrelevant, I'm sad to say, in like a year, right? Because like every tool, this is just going to be normal. And then the final one is Perplexity. And Perplexity, you probably have heard of it. If you haven't, totally cool. It's basically like, think of it as like fast chat GBT that is searching the web, and that's its primary focus, right? So it's going to search first and then answer, where ChatGPT answers and then search. It's a little bit of a flip. And the reason that's powerful is it's always going to go off what it finds for real information first. The other thing I like about it, and we're going to dig in more to Perplexity during the call, Rob, is you can choose the different models and providers. So you can choose ChatGPT 5. You can choose the new Anthropic Son model. Yeah, Mac Whisper from my friend Anika. If you're on a Mac, it's for that. If you're not on a Mac, use Perplexity to find one that is good for a PC. I tried to find one. I'm like, I can't vet it, so I'm not going to recommend anything I can't vet. I'll also be dropping the links in the chat. You're so welcome. Mark Whisper, as in Whisper. Mac Whisper. Yeah, but yes, as in Whisper. So it's a great voice to speak thing. It's like this little guy in London. I love him. I'm just like, you made this a year ago and you're still shipping this like new things every day. It's great. There'll be links in the email. So the reason Perplexity is great is because you can switch different models, right? And like you said, every day it's like, today it's this, today it's that, today it's this, today it's that. So today you can be like, oh, I want to use ChatGPT inside of Perplexity. And tomorrow or on the same day, you could be like, I want to use Claude or Anthropic, or I want to use the new Gemini model. Because when a new thing ships, they put it in right away because they got to stay sticky and they got to figure out how to keep you in. So those are my top three tools, and we'll jump in to how to use them in a way that maybe you haven't considered yet. And we're going to do that on the call.
Yeah, and I would say the one caveat I'd give for anyone who's using these in a workplace setting is sometimes you will want to check with your office as to what tools are allowed. So at this point, still a lot of companies are finalizing what AI tools are permissible, but just check, hey, are some of the are is Perplexity allowed, or would they rather you not use that tool right now? So definitely kind of check in with that. Things are also changing all the time. But
It's so
how?
important. And I'm
Yeah.
going to just want to plus one that, Rob. And this is the thing we're going to talk about today, where I'm like, I don't care what tools you use. I just dropped a link
Mhm.
in Perplexity that is also like, I'll get a kickback if you use it. But honestly, I don't care if you want to just like click something else. This is a tool that works for me. But if you're using Teams or Copilot, guess what's powering that? ChatGPT. If
Yeah.
you're using AWS stuff, if you're using Amazon stuff, guess what's powering that? Anthropic Claude, right? So underneath, they're called frontier models, is the jargon for like the big boys or the big ladies or the big thems and theys that are in charge. That's the tools that are underneath a lot of the other tools.
Love it. Love it. Even though you use some jargon, but it's okay. We'll forgive
Well,
it.
that's why I said
So,
I tried to sniff it out. I tried to
yes,
sniff it out.
exactly.
But call me
Well,
out. Keep me on my feet. Keep me on my toes,
exactly.
Rob.
That's what I'm here for. Well, my other question for you, because people like me, I'm very non-technical, even though I am surrounded by tech people. So how do
Yeah.
you recommend leaders in non-technical roles begin integrating AI into these complex workflows, especially when managing cross-functional teams with varying levels of adoption readiness, right? Some people like yourself, where you're way ahead, and other people like me, I'm still learning.
Right. Great question, right? You don't need to learn everything today, and you probably don't need to learn everything ever, right? We're never going to. It's abundant, and this is the beautiful part of AI is it already knows everything. So let's just mostly everything. So let's ask it, right? So let's break down your question. For non-technical roles, begin their integrating AI into complex workflows. How can a non-technical person integrate AI into a complex workflow? Seems like a contradiction, right? So it depends on the size of your team, right? Do you have a dev team that is building this stuff so that you can access it? Or what's your work stack, right? If you're working with Teams, Copilot, all of that, you pretty much already have all the tools you need to be a rock star with AI right now. You don't have to go buy anything. You don't have to click any referral links. You don't have to do any of that. You can, if it's allowed with your work, you can connect to your email and read summaries, or you can connect to the documents and do cross referencing. The power of right now and what you're seeing with a lot of these tools is they're trying to get more functional by connecting to more things that you use, right? You probably see it. Connect my calendar, connect my email, connect my, other app, Asana, whatever. There's all of these little connectors happening, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, to make sure it's not spitting out BS that has nothing to do with what you're actually trying to get or make stuff up, also called hallucinations. Tell me a tech bro didn't come up with that when he was microdosing at work. And so these complex workflows, you can lean on what you're already is there, right? So like if you're in the Google workspace, same things. Gemini now is underneath the hood and all of these things, and it can connect to your data. That is where you can start with what you might hear as like a workflow, because what that's doing is it's connecting to all these different points, and then it's sourcing the answers based off of what you were asking. Last year, that was a complex workflow. You used to have to go to like something like a tool like Zapier and connect these things yourself, or you had to be a coder and you had to know how to code those things. That was last year. Right now, you could just chat to the thing and sign up to say, here's my data, if you're allowed to say that. And then you can do that. So I would say that's how you begin with a complex workflow, is look around at the stack you already have right now, because they're giving it to you, they're pushing it out there, and they want you in their gated garden, but they also understand that we have tool sprawl.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Hope that's helpful.
Yo, that's super helpful. And my other kind of question related to this too, Hunter, is how can organizations measure this cost saving or ROI achieved through AI adoption? Because that's the thing I'm hearing all the time. We want to use more AI, we want to use more AI, but I don't think people are often actually seeing, okay, are we seeing an ROI from this, especially when it kind of comes to cost savings? So, what should organizations be looking for when it comes to this? Because, of course, right now, a lot of these tools are free, but they will also, some of them cost money, or many of them will cost money down the road. So, how do you weigh that against that you're paying into those tools versus money that you might be spending on like sweat equity someplace else?
For sure. So, a couple of good things you brought up here is if you're, I just disclaimer, if you're using something for free, nothing in this town is free, honey. So, if you're using something for free, that means you're saying, here's my training date, here's my data, you can train on it. Okay. That's a security flag that I want to flag for all of you. If you're paying for something and you're a solo person, you're already opting in to get your data taken and traded on, and you should go to your settings and turn that off if you want to turn it off. If you're using something like Teams or a business plan, those things are off by default. I don't even think you can turn them on to give you that safeguard, right? So that's something that's, I think, is very important for people to know with like AI security and safety. To go back to your question about tracking it, so I heard you ask about organizations. So it's
Mhm.
very different for an individual in an organization to track their ROI and their time, right? So if you're in an organization, I would suggest, there's the fancy jargon word that I will flag. It's called telemetry, open telemetry, right? This is not a new thing. This has been around for a while. You need to start hooking your tools up to tracking it, right? So there's all of these different tools right now, tool sprawl. You need one hub to rule them all to say, like, this is the dashboard. This is what's happening. This is what's not happening. This is what's breaking. So if you're an organization and you're trying out different things right now, this is what you need to set up. And you can go pay money for plug and play tools that do that. That's great. You can also build it from the inside with working with a team that can build that, and then you own your data, you are setting it up, it's locked in, you're not relying on a vendor, you're not paying a subscription. Those are the two paths, right, for organizations. So you can go plug and play, search telemetry, tracking, ROI. You can see those things. There's a bunch of great ones out there. You can also work with teams that can build you one if you are more gated, or if you just want to make sure you're future proofing, because these things change all the time, right? You're like, oh, this tool is great. And OpenAI bought them. And now my data, I have to migrate out of it. I've seen it so many times already with these. I'm a startup. I love startups, but also you have to be mindful of how you use your data and your time.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are kind of weighing right now often like, oh, even the learning of these tools like that takes sweat equity into
Yes.
it that sometimes, oh, it's easier. I could just do it the old way as well. So I think like that's coming in, and I'm even telling myself and members of my team, yeah, let's start tracking our hours. We're doing it manually, so I love that there's ways
Yes.
that we do this integrated, but see, oh, how long would such and such task take you if you were manually doing it versus that?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you also need that data to maybe then advocate for getting the real paid
Exactly.
version of it. Say like, well, I'm doing this right now, but I'm using the free version. Imagine if I could do this with the paid version, I could
Yep.
even cut out more hours out of that. So
Yeah.
having that data and going to your leaders is going to be very helpful.
Yeah, and I think that's great because you can use like a simple spreadsheet. Doesn't have to be anything complex. You can use
Mhm.
a smart sheet if you're into like those smart sheet things. And again, look around at your current stack. I am all about, there's so many great tools out there. Look at what you already have, right? If you're at work and you have a project management system or something that is part of the stack, there's going to be a time tracker in there. Start
Yeah.
hitting that little tracker button, right? Or if it's, I'm super digital. I am also now, I love a sticky note. I
Yeah,
love
yes.
sticky. They're everywhere. They're
Yes,
everywhere,
me
right?
too.
Because that way, this has been really helpful for me for my own time tracking. And then I can help me look at the ROI is what are the three things that will move my career or my work forward today? If I get these three things done, right? That's what's on the front of the notepad. And that way, You can help track that. Okay, I worked on getting down my emails, and my emails used to take me 10 hours a week. Now it takes me 2 because of these tools that I'm using.
Mhm.
That's a big jump, right? And you can track that. Maybe it's on a post-it.
Yeah, love it. And I know, believe it or not, we already have only 10 minutes left. But
Yeah,
did you want to use, maybe
yes,
show a prompt, especially you were mentioning
100%.
perplexity. So I'd love to see what you're doing, a little look
Totally.
behind the curtain.
Yeah, 100%. It's the Wizard of Oz. Let's go behind the curtain, Rob. So I'm going to share my screen. I trust all of you. You can see perplexity here, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes, we can.
perplexity, let's just do a quick little walkabout, right? Kind of looks like ChatGPT. I'm going to keep talking fast. We got 8 minutes. There's going to be a recording. Throw the transcript of the recording into ChatGPT or perplexity, and it'll walk you through all of it. We'll also send it. Okay, power 10 minutes. So you can switch models. We love it. You can switch models. You can connect to different sources. Oh, look at this. Academic, social, finance. You can even connect to your Gmail if you're allowed. We're going to do that today. It has a deep research button, so it can do hundreds of sources in about 5 minutes. And then it's got all your saved stuff like before, right? Like most things. And you can create new conversations, all sorts of stuff, right? So here, you can also set tasks. And what tasks are as their automations, right? So this is something that has become my secret weapon. You can also do it in ChatGPT. You can do it in Anthropic Claude. This is what I'm saying. Go to the stack you have. Perplexity is great. So here's something that I do, right? So we're going to do a task, and we're also going to do it live. So I'm going to just do a simple prompt here. It's nothing fancy. This is my client right now. They're great. They're called BACSIT. They're an IT firm that I'm currently doing their video marketing for and their blog creations, right? So we can set a task to do this every morning and do research for me based off of my emails and conversations with this client. Or you could say, look at our website. Please go find me the top 5 current events from the last 2 months that could be part of our social proof for our campaigns. They're into cybersecurity right now, right? So you can set this task. It'll do it every morning at 6:30 in the morning. You come and you have this great research thing. It can be any kind of task, right? So I'm going to do this just so you can see it in action. Okay, let's make sure my Gmail is connected. Da, 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 da. Okay, this is going to take a second while it goes. So we're going to let it cook in the oven, right? It's like the Great British Bake Off. Oh, we have to let it proof in the oven for a few more moments. So you can check this out. See, look, it's going through my emails. It's searching for the names. Again, OpenAI can do this. Teams can look through your emails, whatever. The secret sauce with this is its research tool, right? So it is now finding all the relevant information. It's finding the emails there. You can see it going through my emails. It's seeing which one is okay, which one is not related to the client. And it's going to pull up the questions that I asked for them and during our interviews, and then it's going to do follow-ups. So while that is cooking, I'm going to give you your own prompts as well so that you can drop in and they'll be a little more advanced. Great. So then it's going to search. So see, look at this. It did 119 searches. And let's refresh it here. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I had to go to the previous one that I did before the call, but you'll see. So it searched through my emails. It found topics that were correct, real costs in cybersecurity, manufacturing industry. That's what they're doing. You can see it's connecting to the emails of what we talked about. And then look at all these great, beautiful sources that it's connecting to. So this is something that I did for my client. And I'm like, great. It just did hours of scanning through emails, trying to figure out what did we talk about? What do we need to focus on? And then it goes and scrapes hundreds of sources, looks for current events, and then will be like, hey, these are the things that are social proof that you should look at. And then voila, here's your blog titles. Here's your blog research. And then guess what? I have more tools to help me write those blogs, right? So that's one of a bazillion use cases, right? I hope this is getting your wheels turning of like, see what it is when we talked about? It's the teams, not tools. they're doing multiple things, right? They're connecting to data. They're connecting to my emails. They're connecting to research topics that I've identified. They're connecting to the company. And they're putting all of these different points together. And then they're like, here you go, I baked this for you.
Yeah, it's almost making me think it's almost like a custom newsletter that's just
Yes,
specifically for yourself
totally.
every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you'll see, like, that was the one I did for my client. But for example, is that still this one? Yeah. For example, you'll see I'm doing this. Here's all my notifications. And I say, you're an AI research scout, right? Because I know we want to know, how do you find more things? Every day, I have this thing go off to me, and it's a custom newsletter, and it searches in the last 24 hours, what were the breakthroughs today? Today, because it's so fast. And then I'll be like, oh, you know what? Open it up to the past week. Great. Open it up to the past month. And you can plug in your own, domain expertise and whatever you need. I am going to pull up a prompt right now for you, so you can take a screenshot of this before we go away. It's going to be in the email as well, but I want you to have something that's super useful. Here's actually two. So I'll drop it in the chat. I don't know if it's going to let you copy and paste in the chat because Zoom is weird, but go ahead and take a screenshot of this. So it's going to be your scout, right? And you define which team it's going to be in, like we talked about. Recency is really important. This is a fun little nugget of the prompt. Like, in the last 14 days, 30 days, 90 days, whatever it is that you're researching, and that parameter of time, do it. Because it's so, everything's changing so fast in every field right now. And it might pull up something from a year ago and be like, this is what's happening with this. And you're like, a year ago? It's like, right, that's no good. It's going to walk you through these steps. This one has some AI automation tools to get you going today. Feel free to change this prompt as you want. I like to have enough options so I can read it because I'm dyslexic and ADHD, if you couldn't tell. And this at the bottom breaks it down for me in a TLDR with a nice summary, and then it organizes it in a really beautiful way so I could just scan it. So
Yeah, someone was asking in some of the pre-submitted questions, like AI almost as an executive assistant, and I'm actually seeing a
yes.
lot of this in that function, where maybe an executive assistant would be, giving you the newspapers of the day.
100%. Here you go, boss. Here's today's breaking news.
Exactly. So this is very much the 2025, 2026 version. Hunter, I have like some lightning questions, like 60-second responses.
Okay, I'm gonna just jump in one quick question,
sure.
one quick thing there, because I want to just connect that dot,
Yes,
right?
please. Go ahead.
So the executive assistant, right? Absolutely. Think about I'm just going to give you a timeline here, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what's coming, okay? So when ChatGPT came out, helpful assistant. Remember that word? Helpful assistant. Now this year, we're hearing executive assistant, right? Executive assistants. It's getting smarter. It's connecting to more tools. The other parts of your teams are there. I'm using them. I have a software development team. There are 4 different AI agents that I talk to that, guess what? We do research like this with my executive assistant. I hand that to my dev team, which is another group of agents, and then they go build the thing that I want built for myself and my staff, right? And then I have my I have a real co-founder who's a human, but I also have my pushback co-founder to be like, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
This is a waste of your time. This is on track with your goals, right? So you can create these personas and stuff like that and think of them as your team. And you're the CEO or you're the project manager. We're all project managers now of different AI systems. All right, lightning round.
What's up? I love that. Yeah. So, okay, real quick questions. Couple just quick answers. What are
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
Well, this comes from Sean in the chat. What are your thoughts on using Gemini and Copilot? In what scenario would I use those?
Gemini and Copilot and or in?
What scenario would I use those in? Gemini and Copilot.
And Copilot. Okay, cool. Because there's a lot of cross-pollination that we've talked about, right? Okay, Gemini and Copilot. So Copilot is in Microsoft. That's essentially OpenAI, ChatGPT. Gemini is Google. So Gemini is pouring all over through your workspace. So that's when it's like popping up kind of annoyingly, like the paperclip days, like, hey, can I help you do this thing?
Mhm.
Reading your emails, but it's actually kind of useful. Gemini is, well, it really depends on what you're doing with it, Sean. So it can make images, it can create documents. It's a pretty good coder. There's a lot of flexibility. If you're doing it in the Google Workspace, I would say that's when it's going to help you connect all of your different, Drive documents, drafts, things like that. Copilot is going to be kind of the same thing, and it's more focused on work-related stuff in that stack to help you. We're like, oh, in my OneDrive, there's this, and the email that Rob sent to me is that through my Outlook, and help me draft a document based off of that stuff. That's kind of what you do with Copilots to help you in your work stack.
Love that. Okay, two last questions, even though I know we're over, but these are
We're over
great
by
ones.
1 minute. I hate going over.
Exactly. So, a question here from Fatia. For beginners trying to get into remote work, which tools would you recommend mastering first?
Remote work. It depends on what kind of remote work, I would say, because we can work remotely from a lot of different roles now. If you're new to AI, I heard that in the question. If you're new to AI and you're getting into remote work, what kind of AI tools should you master first? I would say Fatima, was that your name? I believe.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. I hope I said that right. Please correct me if I was wrong. If you want to get in right now and new to AI, talk to the systems and see where you can guide them, right? Because we're all project managers of AI systems now. So they can handle things on their own. You need to be able to know how to talk to them, how to guide them in the right directions. So I would say jump in with ChatGPT, jump in with Google Gemini now, jump in with Perplexity, really start to understand the research and the collaborative nature between you and the tools. And remember, collaborative is very important. You don't want to over rely on them. You need to double check. Even though that thing just did 150 freaking sources, some of them might conflict. So you need to double check and you need to learn that collaboration with the tools.
Yes, yeah. I'll put in the exact event date, and then the information coming back will be the wrong event date. I don't, so you always have to look. And Cynthia's question, actually, Iris has chimed in the chat. So actually, some great solutions there. So my last question for you, Hunter, is where can people find out more about you, your work, Plumwheel, and anything else you're working on?
Great. Well, I need to copy. You need to send me the chat log so I can see what
Yes,
Cynthia was saying, because that's the thing. Y'all, we all are on our own Wild West journeys out in the
exactly.
wild frontiers of AI. So share the information. You can see, I want to just give it away, right? Okay. So if you want to reach out to me, LinkedIn is a great place to reach out. Hunter Lee Canning, you can find me there. Plumwheel, if you're a mid-size to enterprise company, we love to help you show up authentically on video. We do interviews like this. We do a lot of AI strategy, but we keep it real with the human short form content. But then we use a lot of AI tools. You saw my stack. Also, if you're a company, maybe a startup or a mid-sized company, and you're looking to get in some of that more advanced stuff, low key secret, I actually have two companies. I have a company called Ragno Slabs. If you want to have some jargon, rag, go perplex it, Google it. And that helps teams build some of these more advanced systems out. So if that sounds something interesting or pricks up your ears, you can DM me. So hunter at plumwheel.com, LinkedIn, Hunter Lee Canning. I'm there. Hit me up.
And in addition to this recording, we'll also be sending a very thorough list of some other of the tools and things that Hunter talked through today. And if you're listening to this recording in retrospect, we'll work on also maybe creating a blog or other things that folks can
Oh, yes. I love
access
that.
as
Yes.
well.
What you'll get in that little care package from me too is I'm going to send you those prompts. I'm going to send you, if Rob will let me, the transcript to this call. So you should definitely watch it and then drop that transcript into your AI of choice and ask it questions and then say,
Mhm.
where is Hunter full of BS? What should I do instead? Fact check me. I'm not, it ain't gospel. We are all on our journeys. I want to hear what you're doing. So thank you so much for this, Rob. This was really fun.
Of course, and thank you all for your questions and for spending 30 minutes with us today. We have more events like this one. This is, I think, the third event we've done with Hunter in like 4 months. So as you can see, there's more to get to than we can in 30 minutes. So Hunter,
Yeah.
we'll have to have you back to continue this conversation going forward.
Iris from the chat. This was amazing. Thanks. Thank you, Iris. And, 36 minutes. Thank you for whoever stayed over. I adore you. Thank you so much. Please reach out. Keep on keeping on. Keep staying curious and keep staying kind.
Thank you. Great way to end.